has expired.
I yield back.
Representative Alford.
Thank you, Chairman. I appreciate it. I tell you what, this is another interesting but kind of disturbing hearing. Charles Dickens wrote some years ago in The Tales of Two Cities, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times, the age of wisdom, the age of foolishness. Goes on to draw this contrast. You know, I really think this is the tale of two countries right now. Two countries in which we live, in which I think we're more divided than we've ever been since the Civil War. Everyone on this subcommittee and this committee, you guys, we have the same information. We've seen it about the pacing threat from Communist China. It's disturbing. And for some reason, we are stuck in this quagmire over how to boost recruitment into our services so that we can be that deterrent that we need to be. You know, I truly believe that our strength as a nation comes from our commonality. I know there's others who disagree with that. Our love of country, our pride in our republic. But we've got to figure this out. We've got to get back to inspiring young people to be in the military. We've got to give them a sense that they can be all they can be. We've got to restore a sense of patriotism. As you know, only 9% of current young people right now have any interest in joining the military. And because of this, the drag queen shows that came out that we're putting a stop to and other things, we have legacy families in my district, fathers and grandfathers, mothers and grandmothers, telling their grandchildren and children, hey, don't get into the military because it's not what it used to be. And so I'm glad we're having this discussion. You know, there's some, we went through the NDA markup and there were people complaining because we were talking about it. You know, well, we've got to talk about it. We've got to dig into this. We've got to remove this scab and heal what is wrong with our country. General Clark, you gave a list of considerations of things for applicants for Academy, Air Force Academy, potential cadets. Does a student stand a better chance of being admitted if they are of a certain demographic?
Sir, I would say not a better chance. We look at, like I mentioned, the whole person concept. And demographic is just one of those attributes that we look at for a cadet to come into our academy once we know they are fully qualified to be there. So I wouldn't say that any demographic has a better or a worse chance.
But it's a factor, is it not? Race is...
It is a part of that whole person look that we take for each cadet or for each applicant.
Are there members of certain races who feel like they're not welcome in the military right now for any particular? Have you heard that personally from anyone who said, I would love to sign up, but I don't feel like I'm welcome because I'm Asian or I'm African American or I'm whatever race?
There could be, but it's our job to make sure that they do feel welcome and included. We can't afford right now to not bring in anybody who is willing, qualified, and has a heart to serve to go in and support and defend the Constitution.
I get that, sir. But to Lieutenant General Gilland or Vice Admiral Buck, do you have any empirical evidence, any secondhand knowledge of anybody saying, hey, I would have joined the Air Force, I would have applied for my congressman or woman to appoint me to this academy, but I'm of this race and I don't feel welcome in the military. Have you heard that?
I have not, sir.
Lieutenant General.
Sir, I have not personally had any
Lieutenant General
like
Clark.
that.
Sir, I have not heard that personally.
Don't you think if it was a problem, it would have come up? I mean, that would be a big issue, would it not? Does someone have empirical evidence to say, I don't feel welcome in the military that is protecting our country against the pacing threat from Communist China? And yet we haven't heard that. So is this, we're trying to find a solution that's not really a problem? Please respond.
Yes, sir. What I would say is we do have people in the military, when they see things in our country or they experience things, we want to make sure that, you talked about divisiveness outside of our walls. We want to make sure that when they get to our academy, that they feel
you.
fully welcome and included.
Thank you. I yield back.
Representative Ryan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I appreciate the opportunity to join the subcommittee. I want to be here for multiple reasons. One, as a proud graduate of the United States Military Academy at West Point. Two, to personally commend, and no offense to our other great leaders, to personally commend Superintendent